Here at our house at the Tosties, and this week and last week we've been on a mission to use up some meat that we have saved up in the freezer and some things we already have on hand since some of the shelves at the grocery store are running a little bare. So tonight we're making Mia Pasta Skillet, and we're doing a salad. I'll show you a dressing we're doing for that, and then some Italian garlic bread. So in the interest of time, I got part of dinner started already. So I'm gonna have my cameraman come over and take a look. We're doing Mia Pasta Skillet, which is in this book here, 30-minute meals. And I'm just following the recipe right on the page, but you can see what I've done is I've already put the ground Italian sausage in the pan, added some onion, and let it brown up. When you're doing the onion, it calls for just a tablespoon of that. I'm sure most of you already know that a tablespoon is half a cap. This cap is 2 tablespoons, so go ahead and just fill it up half the way, and then dump it on in and then brown your meat. So we've done that, we've drained the grease, it's ready to go. So I'm gonna jump in on stage step 2 here and show you what's next. Next thing that goes in is tomato sauce. It wanted a 29-ounce jar of tomato sauce. It did say no salt added. I didn't have that, so we're just using what we have, which is regular tomato sauce. Going right into the pot. I also want to mention I'm using a pretty bigger, I guess a Dutch oven instead of a skillet, just because I found it seemed like it was too much stuff going in one pot to fit in the skillet, and I didn't want it to overflow and have one of those blooper moments tonight. So use what you like, but this seems to be a good size for this recipe. So tomato sauce is the first ingredient. Next thing going in is water. So 2 cups of water we've already pre-measured is going right into the pan. Believe it or not, we're gonna cook the pasta right in this dish, which is why you need to have so much space to do it. And that's gonna get going now. Let me just give that a quick stir. It's gonna go up to like a medium heat. And then the name of the recipe is Mia Pasta Skillet, which comes from our Mia marinara mix seasoning. So you can use that. If you find that it has too much of a kick for your family, the other alternative is dried tomato and garlic pesto. Either of those would be perfect for this recipe. So you need about 1/4 cup. I've already pre-measured that here. I'm gonna put that right in now and give that, I guess, another stir to get that going. All right. And then, believe it or not, this is the easy step. You need to put in your pasta. Now it called for 12 ounces of those little cute lasagna noodles. I don't have any. So the one that looked the most similar to it in our pantry was farfalle. So it's 12 ounces. It's actually just going right in the pot uncooked. How easy is that? So it's actually gonna cook right with the liquid that's already in here. So here it goes. Can't get much simpler than this. And then it says to cover and let it simmer until the noodles are al dente. So we're gonna put a timer on because it says for about 10 minutes. Let me just do that here to help me out. Let me just throw a top on this, guys. And because I didn't want to make you stay here and just watch a pot boiling, I thought I'd show you some other things that we're doing with dinner tonight. So we're gonna come over this way. And I wanted to first show you a really cool salad dressing that we like here at our house. So it comes from the 14-day reset kit. We just thought it has a lot of flavor and uses some really great ingredients from Tastefully Simple. So it's made with our citrus herb seasoning, aged balsamic vinegar, and our avocado oil. Okay, so if we're following this recipe here, I'm gonna use this bowl, and we're gonna do 6 tablespoons of avocado oil right into the bowl. I don't know what your favorite salad dressing is at your house, but this one's pretty light. It goes well on everything that you do. It's 3. All right, 6 of that. It actually calls for 6 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, so we're gonna jump right in with that one as well. And if you're saying hi and I am not noticing, sorry, I'm focusing, but I'll look at your comments later, guys. All right, so that's 6 there. All right, so we have that going, and then the magic or the flavor really comes from this citrus herb seasoning. And it calls for just 2 tablespoons of that. Lucky me, that's just a cap. So I'm just gonna pour it out like this until I get to the full cap. Level that off, dump it in. Okay, then you can just take a whisk and go to it and just get a beautiful consistency here. We have a green salad, I'll show you in a minute, that's gonna be ready to go. And we'll have this as our dressing tonight on our salad. If you're curious, there's no sugar in the dressing if that's a concern to you. And it features products that all have that green label, TS Eat Well, which means no artificial colors, no preservatives, no MSG, none of the bad stuff. So that's there for you, okay? Salad is ready to go, okay? So dressing, done, check. Let me just give this pasta a stir. You're gonna wanna do that occasionally as it's cooking here. Turn that up a little bit more so it gets going. Okay, now a lot of times people tell me they like to have some sort of bread that goes with their dinner, especially when they're doing Italian night. And you might be picking up Italian garlic bread in the bakery at your store or in the freezer section, or might not be able to get it at all. So we like to make our own here at our house. So the seasoning that we do that with is Italian garlic seasoning, and the recipe for the garlic butter is right on the side. Okay, so what it told me to do was take a stick of butter. I softened that in the microwave before we got started tonight, and then you're gonna add in 1 tablespoon of the seasoning. So you might imagine this goes a long way. And then we make garlic butter that just stays in the fridge and is there whenever we need it, kind of all week, all month long, however, until we get to it. So I melted the butter, and then we're gonna mix this up. So I have the melted butter here, okay? And then it calls for just a tablespoon. So again, I'm gonna fill this about half of the way. And this is a really fine powder. Now another great use for this is like a casserole topper. Let's say you're doing an Italian casserole and you just want a great topping. This might be a good one for that as well. So that goes right in here to the melted butter. I'm just gonna reach for another mini whisk. And I'm gonna give that a good whisk here. You can see it just kind of comes together. Okay, so we have that ready to go. And then what you would do is just get any sort of bread you like. So tonight I happen to have ciabatta frozen in the freezer, so I just took out a few slices of that, and I'm just gonna brush that onto the bread. So you would just take a silicone brush, is the easiest way to do it, and you're just gonna dip your brush in here and brush that along. Okay, and you get a nice little glaze on there. You can cook this pretty quickly up in your toaster oven if you like, either on the warm setting or at about 350. And you're just brushing it on. There's your flavor. And it is about done. Now, you may wonder what to do with this garlic butter. You can just throw some saran wrap on that, throw it in the fridge, and it will keep for you, or put it in an airtight container if that's more of your preference, and have it ready to go. Okay, so there's the 2 accompaniments to dinner. I'm gonna slide those out of the way. Hopefully you're staying with me on what we're using so far. All right, so here we go. You can see that this is coming up to a nice boil. It's been on for about 5 minutes now, okay? So it has another 5 minutes to go. I won't make you hang out on Facebook with me that long, but I just want to tell you the 2 next steps for the recipe. Once this is done another 5 minutes and the noodles are to your liking, you are gonna reach for a cup of whole milk ricotta, and you are just going to scoop this out into here in dollops. And yes, you might imagine it's going to melt and make a nice creamy sauce in there. And then the other thing you need is 1.5 cups of mozzarella, and you'll sprinkle that on top before you serve it, and it will kind of melt as well. So you're going to get a nice cheesy pasta dish. A couple of notes for you. If you find that at home you don't have ground sausage, feel free to use ground beef. And again, if you don't have Mamma Mia, feel free to use dried tomato and garlic pesto. The purpose of this video is really showing you what we had at our house and what we're using to make dinner. So of course it will be dinner for us tonight. Most of our meals serve 4 to 6 people, and then it'll probably end up being lunch tomorrow. So hit me up with any questions you have. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm gonna finish this up for our dinner this evening. I'd love to know what you're cooking. Feel free to post a photo or comment below. And thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night, everyone.